a part of me wanted somebody to kind of save me. It might make them a little bit more attracted to you, but they don't really love the essence of who you are. Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Winifred if you're first time watching any of my videos. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the things I'm learning in my 20s so far, because I'm not, we're just getting there. But yeah, let's get right into the video and I'll see you guys at the end. Enjoy! So for my makeup today, I'm going to be trying the new Beauty Bronze Balm. I just got this in the mail and I'm actually so excited to try this. This is launching this month, so by the time this video is out, it's already on the website, so you can shop. There's a link in my bio, it's an affiliate link. If you're not interested in using that link, you can also just check their website for this. You always get a signature bag with every purchase, which I love. I love their bag. I travel with it all the time and I've talked about it on this channel, so I don't need to talk about it again. So I'm going to be trying this. I actually don't know what it looks like, but it's supposed to be a sheer balm. Anywho, I feel like being 20 something has been one of the hardest parts of my life, and it has also been one of the rewarding parts of my life. And I also think that being 20 something is when you're like trying to figure out what your emotions are and what you want for yourself. You're literally redefining what life is for you, different from what every other person has told you, or the natural biases that you have just from the way you grew up or whatnot. So you're basically trying to create a new idea of the world that you live in and create it on your own terms, which can be a lot. That's just how I would define being 20 something. Number one thing is that the people that have hurt you have moved on. I think for me, I've always tried to make a sense of how people reacted or how people acted towards me, and I in the true sense, I'm just like, if you hurt somebody, you should feel sorry and you should apologize to that person. But a lot of times people don't feel sorry for their actions and you're not going to apologize to it, and it's your duty to move on, take care of yourself, make sure that you are healing from whatever hurt that you feel, and yeah, like just go ahead and live your life. Because if you're waiting for people to apologize to you before you move on, you might never actually move on. And it's sad. I'm not saying like this is it's not something I'm happy about, but I do think that it's a thing that I had to come to terms with. I'm like, if it's my duty, which sucks, it's one of the most irritating things ever, that it's your duty to heal when someone else did the damage. I would rather like focus on healing than wait for someone else to like feel sorry for their actions or apologize for the hurt that they've caused me, because again, none of us, we're not perfect, right? I think we hurt people and whatnot, but some people just don't feel sorry for the things that they've done or the damage that they've done in your life. So it's your duty to kind of move on. Number two is bad day, not bad life. And I don't even know what number we're going to go to, but like, bad day, not bad life. For someone that struggles with anxiety and just how like I overthink, like sometimes it feels like my brain is moving at another level that I cannot even imagine. One of the things about adulting is that you will have to navigate a lot of, not so good days. I've learned that your mindset is so important. Like the way your mind controls your outlook on things is so deep, like it's so intense. So just remind myself, bad day, not bad life has been helpful. That's really put things into perspective for me, and it helps me to like just realize like today is just not going that great, and it's okay. Like go and sleep, wake up another day, you attack the next thing. The third thing I have is that in most situations you just need God-given audacity. You would need audacity to set boundaries. You need audacity to ask questions, because mostly that's how you get what you want, right? God has asked us to come boldly and ask, right? And then when you ask, you go into the world asking in faith because closed mouths don't get fed. Literally, if I'm being honest, I used to approach life like people would see my hard work and then want to reward my hard work. And most of the time, even when people see your hard work, sometimes they feel like you're fine. If you're not asking for certain things, like you're fine, like you don't need it. So it takes you asking to then get what you want, or know whether or not they're willing to even give it to you. And if they're not, you're able to then create that path for yourself or go somewhere else. In addition to having that God-given audacity, I try to pray most of the time that my desires, like the wants that I have, will align with God's will for my life, because my needs are already taken care of, right? Everything that I need, God has given it to me. But the things that I want and the things that I desire, I pray that they align with God's will for my life, because that's very important to me. That when I'm asking for these things, means that all what I'm asking for and what I have the audacity to ask for is aligned with God's will for my life. I think we're at number 4. Number 4 is that you have to bet on yourself. And I think this goes into, you know, having audacity. You would literally have to bet on yourself most of the time, which is crazy. A part of me wanted somebody to kind of save me. And I talked about this the other day in therapy, because I was like, a part of me, if I'm being honest, wanted someone to see my worth before I saw my own worth. Basically believe in me even when I did not believe in myself. And, you know, people have that. Like I've said this before, like people are lucky. Some people are lucky to have that. And some people, that's not your journey. Like God just wants you to believe in yourself. God wants you to bet on yourself before depending on other people to bet on you. So because I know now, I think the Holy Spirit just reminded me, like, I do have a tendency, or if I don't learn how to bet on myself, I will be depending on people to kind of bet on me. And then once that person that was betting on me does not necessarily believe in me anymore, it translates to me not believing in myself. Nobody's going to dream big for you. And that was a huge realization for me, because honestly, I think I just fantasized or romanticize the idea of having people in your corner. And because that's something that I desired so much, I always just wanted someone else to tell me that I was great before telling myself that I was great. And it's a toxic thing, I think, but I don't know what it is. Obviously, I think it's true, something must have made me want that, and I don't blame myself for that. But now that I realize that, I'm like, yeah, like I need to believe in myself. I need to bet on myself, because I don't have that, and I shouldn't depend on that. Like, even if you have it, it shouldn't be a thing where it's something that you depend on, because if you depend on people to tell you that you are great, like when those people leave, so you would stop feeling like you're great, that kind of thing. I'm not saying that you don't need a support system. That's not what I'm saying at all, because I think that people try to romanticize or make it look like loving yourself or doing things by yourself is all rosy. It's lonely sometimes. Like, you do need people to believe in you. You do need people to see your worth as well. Like, that validation it's great, and it's wanted. It's a desire that is a valid desire. But I also just think that at first, like, you have to learn how to trust yourself, and you have to learn how to bet on yourself. Number 5, I think there's absolutely nothing you can do to make someone love you more. And this is not just in terms of a romantic relationship. I'm talking in friendships, I'm talking in family relationships. Like, there's nothing you can do to make someone love you more, because most of the time, anyone that is above 21, when they've made a decision to treat you a certain way, made a decision to act a certain way towards you, it's because they've decided to. Losing weight will not make this person love you more. Looking fairer will not make this person love you more. Being quiet will not make this person love you more. It might make them a little bit more attracted to you, but they don't really love the essence of who you are. Like, if you lose all those things, they don't really love you. So what's the point? Even when you decide to change certain parts of you in order to be accepted by certain people, you will always have to keep changing, because it will never be enough. It will never, ever be enough. And I'm telling you, even in friendships, like, you can try your hardest to love somebody, you can try your hardest to be there for someone, but if they don't see you as the friend that they want, if they don't see you in the capacity that you want to be seen, you will never be that kind of friend for them, and you'll leave yourself feeling drained. You always feel exhausted, because you are trying, you are molding, you are changing, switching in order to be accepted by someone that doesn't even see the effort that you're putting in. I'm not in life to be winning someone's love. Like, Jesus died for me and I'm here. So why should I be trying so hard to win a human being's love? Like, if you don't love me, you don't love me. That's just what it is. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to talk, because I feel like I will sit down here and talk so much and I'll forget that I need to do my makeup. Number 6, I don't know if I've lost count now, I apologize, but yeah, your level of accessibility is key. I've had to pay a lot of attention to, like, the people that allow access to me or have access to me. Accessibility without healthy boundaries can be one of the worst things that you can ever do, because you might think that people are smart and they have empathy and they should consider you, like, without you asking, and they will consider your mental state, consider like what you have going on, in order to set limits on the things that they're asking of you. But generally people always are willing to take whatever you have to give. and they will take without, leaving anything for you to hold on to. Yeah. And I'm talking family, friends, strangers, workplace. You know how at work they say like hard work equals more hard work? Yeah. And it all boils down to you and how much, boundaries you can set, the boundaries that you set at work or every area in your life, to be honest. Because if you're doing it and doing it well, people are just going to ask you to do more of it. It might not be intentional, and honestly, that's not my business. Even in marriages, right? Let's talk about the frustrations that people feel in marriages. A lot of people feel like, some of these men don't do anything for them, and the women feel exhausted. Oh yeah, but you do it well, so you're just going to keep doing it. That doesn't mean that I don't need support. That doesn't mean that you don't have to understand that there's a limit to all these things that I can do. So it's up to you to establish the boundaries and basically think about accessibility, and that has really helped me. It has helped me frame my relationships a little bit better. It has helped me approach work a little bit different, because I'm that kind of person that always wants to think about what that person wants. It makes people also understand that, hey, you're a human being as well, and you have boundaries and you have limits, and healthy boundaries are great. So I'm going to be using the Merit Beauty Bronze Balm. This is what it looks like, and it's in the shade Monarch, which I feel like is a bit dark, so I'm scared, but I'm going to try it. It's a bronzer. If it warms up my skin, I'm able to I can manipulate it. So let's see. Do you think that's bad? I don't think so, but I feel like I don't need it to be this dark, right? But it's actually, oh god, it feels like butter. Literally feels like butter. This is insane. No, this is actually insane. Like, it feels so good. And this is one of the reasons why I love Merit Beauty products. Like, there's just this sheer balm. Like, when they say balm, they mean it. All right, number 7 is that unlearning guilt and shame is a huge thing in your 20s. Like, oh my god, especially as an African, you would have people that would try to guilt trip you into for the things that you've set, like for the boundaries that you've set, for a career that you decided to go for, as opposed to the traditional, career path. For me, saying no has been a thing. Like, I've always been a person that will say no, but after saying that no, even though I know that it's good, like I've prayed about it and know it's the answer that I need to give to that person, I'll go back and I'll just deal with so much guilt about my answer. I'll just deal with so much guilt for setting boundaries, because I'm just I don't want this person to think I'm a bad person. You will make big decisions that might affect your friends, that will affect your family, that will affect your career. You would have to make big decisions in your 20s, right? It might not be the biggest decisions that you make in your life, but you might have to make certain decisions, and people will be like, oh my god, yeah, I can't believe that you are going to leave your parents here or whatnot. You feel guilty for leaving your family, you feel guilty, but you have to literally unlearn that guilt, even while doing it. Because again, for me, clarity comes in action, right? You want to go ahead and do what you need to do in order to give the answer to yourself, because if you don't try, you will never know. And if you allow guilt hold you back because you don't want to be the bad guy in the story, you don't want to be the guy that just went away and did not think about other people and whatnot, you would always resent yourself and resent people that did not actually force you to make that decision, but you decide to make it because of them. And then these people will come, when these people don't act in a way that you feel shows gratitude, you will then feel like, they owe you gratitude and whatnot, and they don't owe you anything because they did not force you to make that decision. The more you act in the way that you feel is right for you, in the way that is aligned with God's will for your life, if you know that you're actually following the leading of the Holy Spirit, you're doing the things that your gut is telling you to go for, and you feel like it's the right decision for you, the more you do it, the less guilty you actually feel. So I would always say clarity comes in action. The more you do, the more you see how much progress you're making, and if that's a good decision for you. And if it's not, you unlearn the shame of having to start again, because what's the worst thing that can happen? It doesn't work out, you start again. Why is that such a big deal? But I think coming from an African household and just starting something, and then they now coming to tell you, you see, we told you so, can be a fear that holds you back. And in unlearning shame, I also want to talk about shame of failed relationships, shame of failed friendships. I used to feel, and this is something I'm going to talk about in a different video, I think I used to feel shame of like past friendships that did not work out, or relationships that did not work out in general, or like just the kind of upbringing that I had or whatnot. Let's say you've broken up with, like, you've had a lot of breakups or whatnot, and people are now saying like, are you the only one that has been in relations? Like, why are you always having to break up? Or like shame of coming out of a marriage or whatnot. Like, you need to unlearn shame to really live your life. Do the cringy things, do the things that might not seem cool to other people, but to you, it's giving you happiness. Do it. As far as it's not hurting anybody, as far as it's not causing harm to anybody. Like, yeah, if your hobby is to be shooting people, of course it's a problem, right? But like, most of the time you have to unlearn shame of looking a certain way, or not pursuing the things that make you happy. I'm going to be using a blue eyeliner. I don't know why, but that's the vibe. Number 9 for me is you have your voice and you have to listen to it. A lot of people have so many opinions on how you should live your life or what you should be doing, and a lot of times you will just have to, sadly, sit down with your, well, not sadly, I don't think that's sad, but like, it's sad that people have a lot of opinions, and it can be very frustrating and overwhelming. If you keep listening to every other person, the world will tell you how to dance, and you will be on that dance floor waiting for them to tell you to get off the dance floor. They might just like you dancing there. When people say, do it for me, I'm not doing anything for you. Anything. When I was in primary school, my dad, I remember they used to give people gifts for like, if you get first, you know how some parents will give you gifts if you get like first in your class and whatnot. And I remember going back home and I was like, Daddy, like, why don't you give me a gift? Like, I passed, like I came top. I don't know what I did, to be very honest. It was like, if you fail, who is going to repeat the class? Oh my god, that's what my father told me. Like, he was like, if you fail, who's going to repeat the class? Is it me or you? He was not trying to be mean. Like, he literally was telling me the truth, because like, you can't do anything for anybody. Like, you do things for yourself, because you're the one that bears the consequences of your actions, right? If I've not decided that I want to do it, and if someone is telling me against like something that I do want, and the person's like, oh, please do it for me, you're just trying to manipulate me. I find that statement extremely manipulative, so I don't buy into the idea of doing something for someone until you actually, if that's something that you really want to do, then fine. But if it's not something that you want to do, then I don't think you should be doing it anyway. Last thing on my list is, it has nothing to do with me. I've grown up to internalize a lot of things. I think I grew up, being called difficult, just feeling like something was wrong with me and I was the reason why a lot of things were happening to me. With like friendships that have ended in my life and whatnot, I think people just stop talking to me for no reason, or like just would not put in the effort, and I would always internalize and like, what did I do? Like, what did I do to you that you would treat me that way? Why couldn't you just respect me enough to kind of tell me that you were not interested in this friendship anymore, or this relationship anymore? Like, why would you just change and switch up on me? Someone ghosting you, a guy deciding he doesn't want to talk to you anymore, you might not have done anything. It can be very detrimental to your mental health, your self-esteem, because I know that affected me, because I always just could not put two and two together. And in life, a lot of things, like I said, it's not black and white, and a lot of things you might never get an explanation as to why something happened, why a person acted a certain way towards you, and that's okay. And I've learned to kind of just accept it, and it has nothing to do with me. That does not mean I'm going to just tolerate whatever, but I'm able to just have that perspective and not internalize it first, so that I can objectively look at the situation and be able to say, hey, I do not appreciate this behavior towards me. I don't have to ask like, what did I do? No, because I did not do anything. Like, it cannot make me feel like I'm mad when I'm not mad, So most of the time it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. And if you can have that perspective towards a lot of things, I think you will give yourself peace, because people in this world are carrying traumas and just different behaviors that they feel like you deserve, because you're the closest person to them that can feel the heat. Alright guys, this is what I ended up with. This is what I came up with. I put a little bit of an effort this time, and using the Mary Beauty bronzer, like, it really came out. It came together at some point. I'm really happy about it. Like, I just love how there's no like huge difference in my skin. I really like it. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Like, I feel like when I'm talking, I just like If you resonated with one thing or another, let me know. Like, leave a comment below, let me know what you like, and if you like this kind of content. It really helps if you like this video, because it helps me to know what you like, and it also helps YouTube to know that you like the video, so that it can push my content out there, and I would really appreciate that. Don't forget to shop Mary Beauty. The link is in the description box below, and you get 10% off if you use my link. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next video.